Hi guys, time for an update on my sour beer experiments. This started about 2 years ago with dregs from Russian River Temptation Bottle, Cascade Brewing Sang Royale, and Cascade Brewing Creek. All three are different types of sour beers. I saved the sediment from the bottles and did a mix and match on one of them, separated the other two, and had 3 separate 1-gallon batches going out of that. One of them came out really good. I ended up brewing up another 4 gallons of wort using the same method I did before, all extract, and added some oat cubes to that. Yeah, I basically just repeated the process of just bringing the wort to a boil. This time I didn't add any hops. I also didn't do a 60-minute boil. I think I just brought it to a boil to sanitize, poured it into my fermenter, and I racked the full 1 gallon of the good sour beer into it, along with the trub, all of the trub. Hopefully it's going to turn out alright. The reason why I did that is because I didn't want it to oxidize. The pellicle had fallen out, and in my experience on these 1-gallon batches, I think because there's not a lot of surface area, that it can oxidize easily. So just to be safe, instead of just racking it later on and we're trying to get the yeast out of it, and you know, compromising by adding more oxygen possibly, I instead just racked the whole thing in there, and yeast and everything. So yeah, and then I added some oat cubes. I just microwaved them for about 3 minutes and then cooled them down and added them into the carboy, which was hard. I had to do that by hand, so I just dunk my hands in sanitizer and added in the oat cubes. The reason why I sanitized the oat cubes, I didn't want to take any risks because this beer is going to sit for at least another year. The other 2 batches weren't so good. I have them right here actually. This is the darker of the 3. It's the one that I believe oxidized pretty badly. It never developed a pellicle that I could see. The airlocks did go dry accidentally. I think they're actually dry now. I'm really bad about that. So I think because of there's more surface area in these 1-gallon batches, you have to be more careful about that. And so I'm just going to give it a try right now. I'm going to try the other one as well. This is the one that, the darker one is the one with the Cascade Brewing Creek, and the other one is Russian River Temptation. Wow, you can smell the aroma right away. There's not going to be too much gunk. A little bit of gunk's going on there. Now this has been aging for 2 years now. I tasted it about a year ago. On the nose you get a little more paint thinner than before. A lot of sourness. Yeah, different paint thinner and plastic smells in this one. It really doesn't smell appetizing at all. You might get a little bit of like a rotten apple kind of smell to it. Yeah, it just smells kind of rotten. I'll give it a taste. Here we go. Ooh. Well, surprisingly, it's improved from the last time I tasted it. It's really, really sharp in the tartness. Very, very tart. Sour up front, all the way down. Even burns a little bit going down. The oxidation character is maybe lightly still there, a little bit in the aftertaste, the cardboard flavor. You get a little bit of the alcohols for sure. The paint thinner is slight in the taste. it burns going down. It is, I think, about 8.5 to 9%, which is pretty high for a lambic. A lot of residual sweetness. I thought I was going to throw it out, but I think I might hold on to it. The oxidation is starting to turn into the flavor of like aged beers. Kind of get that molasses kind of taste to it. This is better than I thought it was going to be. As my palate's kind of adjusting to the sourness, it's getting a little more sweetness up front, like a sweet, sour, maybe sour cherry or tart, a dark fruit of some sort. But also maybe some stone fruit as well, like apricot. Apricot, maybe orange. I want to say apple, but we don't really get a lot of apple. More like that real sour apple. So it's actually improved quite a bit. I'm really surprised. Let's give the other one a try. So lessons learned on these 1 gallon sour beer experiments, where you take the dregs from a bottom of a bottle of sour beer, commercial beer, and pitch it into your 1 gallon carboy and nothing else. 2 things that I experienced, and I haven't done a lot of them, a lot of other people have done more, but the 2 things that I experienced is that if you don't get a pellicle, you could be exposing the beer to more things possibly that might somehow get in there, maybe the oxygen as well. I think the pellicle barrier really protects the sour beer. If you don't get the pellicle, to me that's a bad sign. And also make sure if you're doing these 1 gallon experiments, make sure your airlocks don't go dry. You can't have some oxygen contact if that happens. I know the CO2 layer is supposed to be on there, but if it's, for too long, eventually that oxygen, I think, is gonna mix in there. The beers definitely, the 2 beers that didn't turn out good, they didn't have pellicles, and all 3 of them went dry on the airlocks. The one that did taste good had a nice thick pellicle that dropped out maybe only 3 weeks ago. Also, watch for activity when you first pitch it. The 2 that didn't turn out as good, they didn't have as active of a fermentation. I think one of them sat for maybe a month before it had any active fermentation, and I ended up pitching a little bit of USO5 into it to just get it going. So on this new batch, I let it go for a day, no activity after 24 hours. So I didn't risk it. I went ahead and pitched some USO5 in there just to get the fermentation going right away. So those are my observations so far on the sour beer experiments. Cheers, guys, and good luck on your sour beer brewing.